Now we're going to demonstrate how to properly launch and land the canoe when you're leaving shore or arriving on a campsite. This is really important. It's probably the time where I've seen people tip their canoes the most often. Now normally it's not that big of a deal if you tip here because the water's shallow, but your things will still get wet. So it's nice to do it properly so that nobody gets hurt and your things can stay dry for the rest of the trip. So there's a couple of steps to it depending on whether you're in the bow or you're in the stern. So if I were to be in the stern and we'd be ready to leave on our trip, what I would want to do is sit on the deck of the boat, and I'm going to straddle it and use my thighs, and I'm going to squeeze the hull of the boat with my inner thighs to try and keep it in place. Now I could use my paddle on the gunnels as well to add stability, or if I prefer, I can have my paddle down and keep my hands for stability. Either way, I want to really be squeezing here, be firmly planted, and hold the boat nice and steady for Isabel to walk in. Now Isabel's going to put her paddle down and she's going to make sure to always step in the middle of the boat. It's the most stable place, and the lower she can stay, the lower her center of gravity and the less tippy the boat's going to be. So during this time, I'm just concentrating on keeping the boat steady, and I'm going to kind of try and counteract any wobbling of the boat by adjusting myself accordingly. Once she's in her seat and she has her paddle and she's told me she's ready to go, I can then enter the boat. There's a couple of ways you can do this if you like. Typically when you're launching as well, if you have a lot of gear in your boat, you want the boat at least halfway in the water or 2/3 into the water. Otherwise you won't be able to push it in and it's really damaging to the hull of the boat. In this case we have a lot of water, so that's not a problem. So at this stage here, I could either choose, because there's enough water, I could step into the boat completely, or I can do a bit of a skateboard technique. So the first method, I would step in the boat in the middle. Once again, Isabel's got her hands on the gunnels. She's trying to keep the canoe steady. If it was really unstable, she could even kneel down and push her knees to the outside of the hull, and that'll add extra stability as well. All right. So I could then step into the boat in the middle here as well, and we could start paddling. The other way we could do it, sorry Isabel, I'll just demonstrate the second way. All right. If I back the boat up a little bit, typically, if we had less water, or if we're still on shore a little bit, you can do a similar technique, similar to a skateboard. So I'll put one foot in, both hands on the gunnels, and I'll kick with my other leg to get us offshore, and then I could kneel or sit on the seat, and we could start paddling away.